All right, and now, without further ado, it's my pleasure to welcome SUSE CEO, Nils Braukmann.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Nils. Good to
Hi,
see
Michael. How are you doing?
you. Very good.
All right.
Let's sit down.
Thank you. So that was an amazing video.
That was pretty cool,
Really
wasn't
crazy. Have you seen this gentleman with the green
it? Yeah, I
haircut
like that.
this? Yeah.
Are you thinking about it?
Yeah, you can't have it.
No, I can't.
I can't have it for different reasons.
Yeah.
No, that was a wonderful video. When have you done that? It's amazing.
So that video happened right here on site, right? That's what happens when you take the amazing SUSE video crew and you combine that with a bunch of fantastic SUSECON community.
Yes. And you guys are an amazing audience, I have to say that. You see it on the videos, you see it here in the room. There's a lot of energy coming our way, and I like to hear that, so give it to us throughout the week. Do you feel it like, shh?
I feel that.
Already?
Yeah.
I saw that when I was waiting for you behind the screen. It's really good. So,
Good.
all right.
So that SUSECON energy, right, we've been doing this now together for quite some years, and there's always this special SUSECON energy. But I have to say, this year it feels a little different. There's a little something extra there, isn't there?
And there is definitely something different in the air, some green, foggy stuff
Yeah.
hovering around. I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that sense of excitement, to me, it's almost like that feeling you get when you're just about to go off on some new adventure or start some exciting new project. There's something different.
Yes.
You know what that is?
I know exactly what you're talking about. And I think the audience also knows
Yeah, I think
what we're
so.
talking about. I think most of you have noticed and have heard by now that SUSE is now, since March 15, a fully independent, standalone business.
Yeah.
And in fact, we are about to be the largest independent open source company in this industry as the red gets slowly sucked into the blue and turns into purple. Okay, so I want to say that.
True. Yeah.
So, and now, Michael, you and I, and the whole SUSE team, and quite frankly, I think many people also here in the audience have been on this journey since a couple of years.
That's right.
I mean, step by step, we not just expanded the SUSE business, but we also increased the levels of independence within the SUSE business. And
Right.
it was so exciting and inspiring to see how the SUSE teams across the globe really gathered on our Independence Day, March 15th, and started to celebrate parties. You know, there was SUSE bands playing.
Yep.
There was green illumination everywhere. There was green colors. People celebrated with mega cakes. Green cakes. Yeah. The Chinese team, I think, had the largest cake I've ever seen. I think they will still eat from that when we celebrate our first anniversary of the independence. It was
I think so.
but lots of fun. Seriously, the chameleon was at display everywhere on public places. So, and honestly, you see some of those pictures, I think, or saw some of those pictures behind us. It was very inspiring to see this level of confidence, pride, passion, belief in the future of SUSE. So it was a great day for us.
And you know, the timing of it couldn't have worked out better. You know, in all these things, the timing, it's hard to know how the timing of these things work out, but it couldn't have been better to have finalized the launching of SUSE as an independent business really just days before SUSECON. It's just perfect.
And audience, I have to tell you, you don't know how much we were sweating, you know, that we were holding
Oh yeah.
the March 15th date as SUSECON came closer. But we made it, you know. So, well, but the most important thing now, being an independent business, there's really only one agenda left, and that's our own agenda.
That's right.
And it's about understanding the needs and the requirements of our customers and business partners, and then as a business, try everything that we can do to really meet those requirements. And I can promise all of you that we are very focused, 100% focused around that, and super single-minded.
You know, and it feels good inside of SUSE, you know, as part of the SUSE team, being able to have that laser focus on our mission and our customers is such a great feeling. But even more than that, there's some really great advantages to this in terms of our new structure. Maybe we could talk about that more.
Well, one of the advantages certainly is that we now have a growth investor at our site, EQT, And actually with that support and expertise, it is actually possible to enlarge our strategic pursuit, I would say. So for years we have been heavily investing into the engineering organization and we're expanding the business via organic growth. And we will continue to do that, by the way, because after all, we are a technology business. But now, in this new constellation, we're able to complement that organic growth with a set of strategic acquisitions to help us to advance our strategy even faster, to deliver new open source innovation to our enterprise customers with an increased degree of speed. So this build and buy strategy that we now can execute in the new setup with the growth investor at our side is really making a big difference for us in the future.
Yeah, and that ability to use both of those strategies to develop the business is great. And I'm really excited about that, and I think the whole SUSECON audience is going to be excited to hear throughout the week how that's going to lead to more innovation for you. And you'll be hearing a lot about that on this stage as well as in the various breakout sessions. And then another thing that's different is there's some implications about this, about how we operate the business that are really interesting as well.
Yes, and I hope you guys are curious about it, because you should. So first of all, generally speaking, we're pursuing our independence with a combination of continuity and also refinement, because there are many things in this business, what we call the SUSE Foundation, that made our success possible and will continue to make our success in the future possible. So everything in our foundation that keeps us strong, open source, open source in general, our business culture, events like the SUSECON, these kind of things we will definitely continue to maintain. And at the same time, as the markets are changing, as customers are changing, as the business is changing, we will also refine in certain areas. So everything that needs to change in order to be a better business, a more agile business, to react to market requirements in those areas, we will actually do changes, probably at a higher pace than we did in the past.
Right. Yeah, and there's so many different facets there that we could talk about, but let's just pick maybe one or two examples.
Yes, that's what we decided. Obviously, we can't talk about all of those elements, but let's talk a little bit about the leadership, because I think also for you it's interesting to see how this company will be run and led in the future. So if you think at the leadership team, to a large degree, we're talking about continuity. So the team that brought us this far, this fast, will also take on the next additional steps of developing the SUSE business. So stability to a large degree in that area. Now, at the same time, obviously, we also recognize that there are certain functions, certain expertise, certain capabilities that we need, that we have to add to the business. So we actually started to complement our leadership team in several levels to add these capabilities and these expertise to make the team even stronger and subsequently SUSE a better business. So again, a combination of continuity and change.
And you guys have probably all seen recent announcements about that, about some of the new SUSE leaders that have joined us. You'll see that in our recent announcements. And I think that's a great example of some of the things going on inside the business as a result of this change. And then we also came up with another example that was more of outward facing that we wanted to talk about today.
And that's probably the example about our partner ecosystem. So technology partners, business partners, go-to-market partners have always been deeply ingrained in our strategy from day one, and that's something that we obviously will continue, no doubt about that. So at the same time, we also recognize that as partner types and relationships emerging that we want to pursue and develop, so we will also seek for new opportunities to engage. And examples for that would be working closer with the global system integrators, do even more with the public cloud service provider channels around the globe. And that can take the form of go-to-market collaboration. It can take the form of collaboration around service models, but most certainly also around optimizing technology jointly together to offer to our mutual customers.
We have some great examples of that as well. So with this announcement, obviously there's a lot of things that are new for us. There's also some things that are staying the same. So that balance of continuity and adaptation and growth is really exciting. Now, one of the things that does stay the same is what we do at SUSECON, which is great. And one of those things that the SUSECON audience has always told me they really appreciate, Nils, is to have a chance to hear directly from you some updates about what's happening with the business.
And how the business is doing.
And how the business
so let's talk a little bit about that. So first of all, we came out of 2018 and moved into 2019 with quite a healthy business momentum. So the SUSE story of growth and momentum continues, and the business continues to be very healthy. And I can give you a couple of pieces of information to illustrate that. So our revenues in fiscal year 18 grew at a rate of 15%, actually a little bit more than 15%. And we are about to surpass the $400 million revenue mark as a business. Okay,
That's a great milestone.
it is.
Yeah.
Now, even
Yeah, well, I'll clap for that.
and maybe also interesting to know that all of the 4 worldwide geographies that we support actually showed growth again, like every year, also in fiscal year 18. So it's again very homogeneous growth from different areas of the world contributing to that.
And what I love about that growth momentum is it's also profitable growth, and that continued profitable growth sets us up to do more and more and more over time. It allows us to reinvest back into the business, which is another thing we often share here with our audiences. What are some of those investments that we're making back in?
Well, we continue to invest heavily into the team and build out the team. So just alone in the last 12 months, if you look back the last 12 months, we added more than 300 net additional people to the SUSE business across functions and across geos. Now the entire team of SUSE deployed worldwide is now exceeding 1,750 people. So quite a sizable team that we have there. And most of the investment went to engineering, no surprise.
Right.
But you would be surprised how much also went into sales and services, because we want to do a better job to also find and service our customers around the globe.
Right.
One additional note, and I think that became also obvious when we showed some of the videos, is we are a pretty global and very international company. So those 1,750 employees are distributed across 34 different countries and, hold your breath, from 75 different nationalities.
That's pretty amazing.
So a truly international team that we have within the SUSE organization.
Yeah, and I think that diversity and international nature of the SUSE employee base itself, all of us at SUSE, that's really a direct reflection of the international nature of our business and our customers. Because our customers are all around the world, and we want to be there with you to engage with you directly wherever you are.
Yes. And maybe now is a good time not just to engage with you, but also to thank you. All of those that came along, but not just for coming and joining us at SUSECON. We want to thank you for being our customers and giving us your business. We know that you have choices. We want to thank you for your business, but also for the fact that you engage in those lasting, productive relationships that actually make us stronger and hopefully make you stronger as well. So thanks for that.
Thank you. All right, now in my opening, I promised that we would talk a little bit more about how SUSE is referred to as the open source company and what that really means. Right, so maybe we could hear a little bit about that from you in your own words.
Let's talk a little bit about that. So first of all, many times we said that openness means much, much more than just the way we innovate, the way we share the innovation, the way we license our source code.
Right.
You know, so openness for us is really philosophical, it's cultural, and you also realize that it's actually very practical. Openness drives the way we work with each other, the way we achieve something together, the way we solve problems together. Right. Ultimately, it is what brings us together, what powers the community, what drives the innovation and the value add. That's what openness is all about.
So I think, a lot of people are familiar with how open source as a development model has great advantages, how you can rapidly innovate and do more faster together, which is great. But there's so many other aspects to open source, and for us, there's more aspects to the concept of openness.
Correct. Which we, by the way, apply externally and working with us, but also internally. That's a concept that, we thrive. And I've been asked to share my thoughts, my personal thoughts about openness by Michael, actually. So that's what I will do now, right? So first of all, honestly, openness means that you generally engage with people and you listen and try to understand and consider their ideas, their needs, and then act accordingly. So that's the first element of openness. And like we said, that's independent on whether it's internal or external, working with your partners or customers. Now, the willingness to understand and consider and then drive your activities accordingly based on that understanding creates an element of connection and trust, or connectedness and trust, that is really unique.
Yeah.
And honestly, I, as a leader of the SUSE business, practice that day in, day out, internally as well as externally. And what we have realized is, if you find people that engage in those relationships bidirectionally on the same principle, then the amount of value that you can drive, the things that you can achieve, the genuine benefit that comes out of that just is worth the extra effort of that openness. And that's why we hold on to open. Okay.
Yeah, that's great. And I think SUSECON is one of those great places to have that engagement and that sharing, where we can not only share information with all of you about our technologies and solutions, but we can listen and consider and understand what your goals are and what your plans are. So that's where that bi-directional activity can happen right here this week.
Correct. And maybe an interesting way to look at that is also to understand actually how SUSE is currently experiencing the carve-out and setup of a standalone business. Yeah. So you're all aware we are launching SUSE as an independent business, and a business that is chartered to help our customers to achieve their journey or successfully go their journey of transformation, digital transformation. Now, the truth is that we as a business are facing the exact same challenges and tasks that our customers are facing at the same time.
It's a lot of work.
All of those things that you experience are actually true for us as well, as we are setting up the business for full independence. For example, we absolutely had to create our own IT stack that supports our employees across different functions to be really agile and to keep pace with the market changes and the changes of requirements that customers have.
Yeah.
And that stack actually needs to be accessible from the street. It needs to unlock the value of our data. It needs to provide intelligence about our customers, intelligence about how our customers use our solutions, what kind of solutions they use, and correlate that also with the kind of activities that are currently having with us. So the stack that is agile, accessible, unlocks the value of our data. That's what we have to achieve, and quite frankly, that's exactly what many of our peers in the industry and our customers are experiencing as well.
Yeah, and that's the same thing I hear from customers and partners, that need to be agile, to scale with growth, to meet those changing demands of their customers. It's really interesting to be having to think about it from our own infrastructure point of view and our own IT point of view. Yes. So one of the things I think would be interesting to hear about is, as you talk to leaders around the world, what are the drivers, what's driving them? What are they trying to accomplish?
So this exact same need for adapting and scaling and being agile in the business is what I hear from other business leaders, as well as what drives them as well. So they need to be ready. They need to be prepared to master their future going on. Right. That future is often influenced by factors that we have in common. So the requirements, the expectations of customers and the markets in general are changing, right? Right. True for everyone. Then many of us have to deal with competitors, competitors that are maybe disruptive competitors, and you absolutely want to stay ahead of them, and the application stack and the way you engage with the outer world, how you serve and support them, how you take back in information is actually very important to that. Yeah. To deal with those competitors and stay ahead of them. And then obviously you want to prepare for your own growth story, to develop and grow your own business. And in many cases, people rely on merger and acquisition activities to underpin that strategy and get it done, which then need to be integrated into that new agile stack. So these are the things that you hear repeatedly in the industry, and where there is a requirement for agile, scalable solutions that customers have.
Yeah. And with all those drivers and all those demands, there's no way you can just sit still, right? And my philosophy is that technology doesn't emerge on its own. That technology actually emerges in response to the needs of the world around it. And there's all these great technologies that are now emerging to help us address those drivers and those requirements?
Well, in response to the needs, but also in the response of the business realities that you maybe have inherited. And that's one of the other things that we need to talk a little bit about. Because while those customers are really ready to explore the benefits of hybrid computing, of cloud and multi-cloud computing and software as a service, and all of the benefits that come with that, which is the scalability, the speed to market, the economic flexibility, which is the advanced part, they also have to deal with all of those customization requirements that they have maybe on-premise, that they cannot just lift and shift to the cloud, or that maybe software as a service providers don't provide this kind of customization. So what you really need is the ability to move to those new computing models and paradigms, and at the same time be able to fulfill those demands with regards to customization that you sometimes have to run on-premise. So it needs to coexist, it needs to connect, and needs to be linked to each other.
So it has to; those things have to live together and actually integrate with one another.
Correct.
Which is really quite a challenge, and that's why I think for many enterprises, this concept of hybrid is not just a buzzword; it's a reality. If you're going to embrace all these advantages of these new technologies that are emerging to help you, you still have to get the most out of the on-premise assets that you have today. So you can't have just 100% one or the other.
And that's exactly what you see happening now in our own IT stack that we are choosing, right? There's the need to support those homegrown applications while you go cloud. So at the end of the day, that resulted in a SUSE IT stack that is a combination, right? It's a mix. It's on-premise, it's hybrid, and multi-cloud. So we are working with different providers in this space.
Right. Now you mentioned another term there that I think is really interesting. We were talking about hybrid cloud, and then we also shifted into talking about multi-cloud. And I think that's really interesting because when I talk with customers, anytime we're talking about hybrid cloud, we seem to always also end up talking about multi-cloud. So let's dig into that a little bit.
And actually, we learned the tough way that it's a reality because we wanted to achieve the degree of flexibility that only best of breed was giving us. So actually, we decided to work with several software as a service providers and also several cloud providers. So at the end of the day, that is a multi-cloud strategy, which needs to be managed, orchestrated, and again, needs to fit within your own, let's say, homegrown IT that you maybe have to inherit.
Yeah, and I think that's a reality for nearly any enterprise as well.
That's correct.
Now, I want to grab another term that you used there, which was partnership.
Partners.
And as you alluded to earlier, partnership is such a fundamental element of our culture and how we do business. Let's hear a little bit more about that.
So as you embark on this digital transformation journey, you definitely need partners at your side that are willing to engage and understand what your requirements really are, and also mirror this requirement for the multi or the mixed IT approach. So, so we definitely had different providers we were talking with, and we picked those that were willing to also support for us as a vendor best of breed solutions because they were deeply engaged, they were dependable, trusted advisors to us in that case, and understood the need for mixed IT environments, the deployment across hybrid multi-cloud environments.
Okay, so to sum it all up, if I just try to boil it all down, what we were just talking about, the combination of our open source technologies combined with an open, engaged, considering consultative approach to our business, that's really what makes us the open source company, if I want to sum it up quickly.
Yes, it's important to know is that these are the kind of partners we look for to provide service to us, and in return, that's the type of partner that we exactly are aiming to be for our customers. Right?
That's a good way to put it.
So where kind of the loop starts to close, because we are the trusted advisor and consultative partner to help customers achieve their own digital transformation journey with agile open source solutions where they can deploy and manage workloads across all of those different environments. So that's basically what we bring to the table, but also consume from the market. So.
Now, let's pause and shift gears a little bit here and talk a little bit about technology. Now, tomorrow, as you know, I'll be talking with Dr. T about his point of view, and we'll go into a whole bunch of technology trends. But maybe you could help set us up for that and share your views on just high level. What are some of the the handful of major technology trends on your radar?
I think you had them on the screen before already. So broadly speaking, so if you think about big strokes, the journey to digital transformation is supported by all of those software-defined solutions. So that continues to be the baseline, and then enhanced by all of those application delivery, application deployment solutions that the open source communities also develop together. So that's really the near-term things that we see shaping up, and that obviously includes topics like container orchestration, clusters, service-oriented architectures and stuff like that.
Right.
So that's more on the near term. And then, obviously, if you want to think a little bit broader in the future, then it's those topics that you also had on your list, like machine learning, artificial intelligence, or maybe before that, also those concepts of function as a service, serverless computing, which, by the way, still requires servers, hardware servers, but it's still called serverless. This industry sometimes is a little bit funny in a way.
Does that mean that cloud computing happens in a cloud? And
and there's no servers.
There's no servers?
There's no hardware. So it's the cloud that do the computing. So anyhow, so serverless, function as a service, machine learning, artificial intelligence are the topics that are shaping up also for us as a vendor.
And really driven by all those things you just mentioned, all driven by open source innovation, sort of the point of origin and the driver behind the technologies. Now, I'll dig into that more tomorrow with Dr. T, and I look forward to that. Now, it's really exciting now to be an independent business, right, where we can really be completely focused on our customers and our vision, mission, and strategy. So why don't we talk about that a little bit?
And that's exactly what we will do. You know, like I said in the beginning, we will only have one agenda, and that is focusing on our vision, mission, and strategy, and how we will help and add value to our customers. So actually, our vision is really about the success of our customers, of you, and to make sure that actually you can be successful, that you can be innovative, agile, and competitive with agile open source solutions. So that's the end goal. And how we actually get there is ensuring that you get best of breed, enterprise-ready solutions that help you to create, deploy, and manage workloads across everywhere, basically on-premise, in hybrid and multi-cloud environments. So ultimately, that's where we want to go. And how we want to deliver that is through our independence and being a long-term trusted advisor in the open source industry, but paired with the open source communities that give us this innovation, and with all of those partners in our ecosystems that help us to take this innovation and bring it as a real valuable consumable technology to our customers. So it's us together with our partner ecosystem.
Yeah, and I think that summarizes really nicely the vision and mission and strategy, and we're so well positioned now to focus 100% on that and on you, our customers.
Correct.
Now, Nils, I know our SUSECON audience always loves having you here, and how open you are, and how accessible you are, and all the information that you share. So thank you for that.
And yeah, and I like that obviously about SUSECON myself as well, no doubt about that. And like you, I will be around until the end of the week. And we are in the sessions, we're walking the hallways, and the good news is not just Michael and I that are around, but in fact the whole SUSE leadership team, in addition to the broader team, is here available as well. And as we said in the beginning, there's continuity in our leadership team, so a couple of people that are with the business since a while, and in some cases have new responsibilities, and then also those people that we added to the organization are here as well. All of us are available, approachable, open. So make best use of our time, grab us, speak to us. We're actually displaying, hopefully, yes, we are, a couple of pictures. And I see actually people are taking photos of the pictures. That's smart.
Could track them down.
Because that should help you to track us down and spot us in the big group effectively.
And that's why we're all here.
And that's why we're here, yes,
to
exactly.
Really, honestly, to engage and have conversations with all of you.